in a secret lab somewhere in the Western Hemisphere. A perfect human specimen has been born. He has the strength of 10 men and the wisdom of 20. He also has a twin brother.
Today with me is Neil Jones, a certified personal trainer here in Revelstoke, and today I'm just going to talk about some of the principles of strength training. Neil, thanks for helping us out with this one.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about some strength training, so what we call the foundation or fundamentals, and think of it like a stool with 3 legs. And so you would have progressive, overload, progression, and specificity. And I try and say that 3 times in a row, but
yeah, that'd be a tricky one for sure. So what's progressive overload?
So the progressive overload would be sets, reps, rest time, and exercise selection. So we would have these 4 things to work with to overload your tissue. The next one would be progression, and progression working within the progressive overload would be done at a pace so that you don't injure yourself. So you don't want to overload the tissue too quickly or too slowly so you don't get results. And then specificity would be bringing in more tailored to your sport or your needs.
It sounds like you can either increase the weight or decrease the rest or the rest.
That's right, yeah. So I think a lot of people get caught up in, I just have to push more and more weight. Well, that's going to lead to microtrauma, tissue overload, injury, bursitis, tendonitis, all those horrible things that become chronic over time and slow your progress down.
And breathe out when you press up. Yeah, that's very good. Yeah.
The term periodization would be bringing in periodized times of training, 2 weeks to a month, let's say. So we might work heavy for 2 weeks, and then we would back off, because if we don't back off, then you're going to overload the tissue, and that's when you're going to get an injury. So we're not built to keep overloading that tissue, so we need to back off. So if you're training heavy for 2 weeks, you back off to training light, but maybe adding in more reps. And then you can change the selection of the exercise, whether you're working one body part, your whole body, and then rest time. So if you're using the heavier weight, you're going to have a longer rest time, and lighter weight, a shorter rest time. And so sets, reps, and exercise selection. So you've got all those variables of change to progressively overload that tissue instead of just being about heavy weight.
Okay, come slowly up, yeah, and slowly down again.
I couldn't come up quickly if I tried.
Okay.
If I wanted to see gains in my performance or my ability, how often a week would you recommend doing resistance training or weights?
I have a brother.
If a person's really physically active, doing a lot of other exercises, I would go twice a week. If you're looking to add more strength into your program, then I would go 3, maximum 4. Again, it depends how hard you're working on that tissue, and do you need time for it to recover and repair. So have you torn it down? Do you need 24, 48, or 72 hours rest time in between that workout? A lot of people don't take into consideration of your age, your past injury history, your current injury history, and also your genetics and all those variables that are going to affect how you train. So it's taking all that information in and listening to your body and making those moments and movements as you need to progress.
Only their mother can tell them apart.
Would you have any rough guidelines for someone who hasn't done any resistant training or is very, very new to it? I mean, without seeing them, it can be challenging for sure, but what's sort of a safe guideline to start at to get a feel and then start throwing in some of these variables to match up to my abilities, if you will?
You can drive yourself crazy overthinking what this is all about. So if you're new to it, I would just learn, again, we're talking about the fundamentals, learning how to biomechanically use the machine properly, use a free weight properly, learning how your body works, and the information. I tell people everything is your brain. Higher reps and getting that movement in, learning how to do the movement properly. I think it's people learning the balance and the space and time aspect of it as well. And then not being so sore. If they start out too quick, you're not going to enjoy it. So you want to find, I'm all about, there's 2 words I use, and it's moderation over time. That's how I would approach somebody new and anybody actually.
Cool.
Yeah, and I love to do more. So if you do want to do more, just feel free to give me a shout.
I'm your twin brother.
Obviously. The moment I sat down, I thought I was looking into a mirror.